upstream as well as downstream.
So if you want your characters, for instance, to do a backflip or something, I just brought that null in, parented my character to that null, applied IK boost to that null, and so there you go. Doing this with traditional IK can be a pain. So there's definitely some good features in IK Boost to help resolve a lot of the headaches that we experience when we're animating this stuff. And imagine what these controllers would be like if you're rotating them and you're using traditional IK. If you move this up or down, it's going to get weird because all your axes are on weird angles now. But with IK Boost, it keeps it. It's doing the animation and it's doing the flip. It's pretty awesome.
That's how you did the handstands, right?
No, I did it. I actually just animated the feet up as he's doing the handstand. I actually just animated the feet up, but this would have simplified it a lot for sure. So okay, one more thing. I want to show the arms, the hands. You do have to be careful what mode you're in. Rotate or move. When you're in move mode on one of these controllers, for instance, if I go over here and I'm on move, sorry, and I move my character up or down here, it's not creating keyframes on the rotation axes. It's only creating keyframes on your transition axes. So if you want to create keyframes on your rotation, you got to go to rotation mode. Otherwise, there's no keyframes on the rotation. Does that make sense?
And then just hit enter twice to add a key for all.
Yeah, well, exactly. You can just, I think it's 3 times in IK Boost, actually. But, yeah.
Actually, it spares you the step of having to select well, no, wait. Actually, one thing I hate about all items is, like, the traditional all items is it's an easy way to store everything. So you try to delete something on one item and oh look, you just delete everything.
Yep. Okay, I'm on the root object. Where is, I want this guy. Another thing that's pretty cool, since we're on this null object, is setting up a bind spot, binding that null to a particular point. For instance, wherever I move this null right now, and I already have animation happening, let's say, downstream. Let's just go to this guy. Yeah, he's getting sucked into the ground there. It's okay. It's just an example. Okay, so he has animation on him, obviously. So even if that's moving up or down, no matter what, if I go into here, do a right click, select the area, maybe let's right click. It's the wrong thing. This must be that. Here we go. Set bake spot. It's gonna, no, we're doing bind motion. Sorry. I'm gonna set a bake spot, hit OK, and you'll see this bar appear, which is editable and adjustable. You can grab these little triangles at the ends, and you can slide them. This allows you to adjust the timing for the bind motion, which I'm about to apply to the null. Once you have your bake spot, so you just click bind motion. Actually, it is. You see how it's locked down there now? If I slide it back a little more, it'll lock it down for the whole thing. So I'll apply it again, bind motion. I actually locked it up there. Undo. I'm going to move this down. So wherever you have this position, that's where it's going to bind the motion to that point. See that? So I had animation under even on that one null, but now that it's bound, it's locked to the ground. So that if I rotate my root, or if I rotate, I think I can rotate. No, there's no animation. So there's no animation on the rotation channel, which is kind of it's a good thing. That point's going to stay locked there. So you could do stuff like parenting your character to a null, have him do his rolling motion, apply a bind spot, and that point will stay locked there as he kind of rolls over. And because you can adjust it here, where it's bound at, when he comes up, that's where it'll stop being bound, where you place this.
Go past that end, it releases?
Right.
Oh.
It releases.
Oh, I see.
And after it releases, you can set up another bind. You can you can bake that motion and then set up another bind spot, for instance.
If you had enough memory, you could duplicate this character, offset the motions, and put a group of them
Yes.
all running through the forest.
Absolutely. I plan to be doing that, actually. That's part of my process there. So
the other thing is basically you only have to rig one character, and then you just duplicate the rigs into every other character you're creating because you're already set up.
you see that? See that he's locked down here, and where it is there, it lets go. So he's locked down. That one point there's locked down here, and where I want it to let go, it's free. It's quite nice. Unfortunately, I kind of baked it in right now, so it's kind of not adjustable. You can reset your bake spot or your bind spot, or you can adjust this, and after you're done, just right-click, rebind all, and there it is. So it is adjustable. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is the hands. I'm just going to throw some animation on the arms and hands and show how you can copy that over to the other hand. I'm going to reload this scene up. So I encourage all of you to get into IK Boost and start playing around with it. Do some simple stuff and just start getting familiar with it, because at some point you're going to have a breakthrough and you're not going to want to live without it. You're going to want to use it in everything.
I've already used it. I've already mentioned to you earlier. I've already used it for like just everything but animation. Like an animator once asked me to redo a rig so that it would just form in a completely different way based on controls.
Right.
The controls were external. No IK booster was involved.
Right.
But because the controls were external, I was able to take the animation that the animator had already done, and using IK Booster's save motion for all items, I was able to save up every single rotation on those external controls to a text file. Go to new rig, which had the exact same hierarchy for the controls, apply IK Booster to a root null, and load in the animation for all those controls.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, you just parent all that to one null.
IK Booster, export the motion, go to the new one, add all the controls to null, apply IK Booster, import motion,
Yeah.
unparent everything, blow out the IK Booster null, and no one needs to know how I copied it over.
Right. Right. It's quite remarkable, because again, IK Booster is putting that animation on, on whatever it's on. Like if it's on bones, the animation will be on the bones. For that chain link, the animation's on each one of those links that I moved.
And it's saved in with the scene itself?
It's saved in with the scene. So if you totally remove IK Booster, turn it off. Let's see. For instance, he's got a little motion still in here. If I go into IK Booster and just totally remove it, like it's totally gone, you're going to lose all your controls. It's totally gone, but that animation's still on the bones. Now you don't have any. You can't go back now because you lost all your controllers, but you still have that animation on the bones. I'm gonna have to reload the scene. I just can't comment enough on how great it is to have the animation on the bones. Again, when you're working expressions, I mean, just think about that. When you're working with traditional IK, there's no animation on the bones. You got to bake out the animation on each one of your bones. I mean, it can be a huge saving in time. Now, earlier on I was talking about fixing the controllers down so they're locked down. And I have these, you can tell they're fixed because they become solid. Like these are kind of circles that are just circles, and these are circles that are filled in. So that means that they're fixed. That means that they're going to try to stay locked down. But let's say you want to move his arm using the forward IK here, and see how it's kind of won't let you. It tries to hold the fixed motion here. If you hold down the control key, it'll negate the fixed object, so that if you want to do forward IK, you hold down the control key, grab the number, and you slide, and it negates the fix, so that you can move.